a lot of people came to learn of my blood sight. However, none really understood just how deep my powers ran, nor how vast the ocean of abilities could be. Even I seemed to have fooled myself into believing all I possessed were a few simple parlor tricks. My setting changed suddenly, and I was now a woman grown, a former queen walking the nighttime streets of New Orleans. Aurelia approached suddenly and held a sealed black envelope in her hands. She was as confident and sure of herself as ever. She extended her hand to me, with her envelope offered. "This is my future. This is the choice we must celebrate," she told me, and even she didn't appear convinced of her words. Her intense yellow lupine gaze was clearly bewildered. The dream me accepted the envelope. I watched as Aurelia turned away. There were no pleas and no attempts to dissuade her, even though I had an endless supply of both. She was the future leader of her tribe. How could I torpedo my oldest friendship and alliance in the colonies? The truth is, I was little more than a rogue vampire. Since awakening, I had chosen not to reinsert myself into the bloody politics of my kind. Instead, I had entrusted my daughter Alexia to rule the American kingdom. She was the most suited to the task. Besides, she was far closer to vampire than I. Our people saw her as one of their kind, but not me. I was treated as an aberration of nature. Most were relieved that they didn't have to interact with me now. They'd as soon pretend I was but a plague of the past world passed away from their midst. The dream changed once again, and I saw Aurelia running into the depths of the wild. Nothing out of the ordinary about this image, except for the thick blood she was trotting through. I followed hastily behind her. Watching the pools of sanguine around us, I could feel the infused misery and chaos of all the departed the sanguine belonged to. There was no name to which this sacrifice was made. No god, Celtic, Greek, or otherwise. No known being for which all the carnage in our path could be ascribed to. Many pantheons exist or have existed, I could explain later. "Aurelia?" I asked in ardent concern for her safety. She seemed unaware of the blood her pores waded in. Suddenly she was glaring at me, almost as if she were blaming me for something. "Aurelia, don't go through here," I implored her, and the dream Aurelia dashed onwards, almost as if my very request converted into a challenge to her. As we broke through the dense foliage, the crimson of the ground was not all that caught my eyes. The swirling scarlet mists of my childhood spiraled around us, the churning miasma of sacrifice so deep, the power permeating the world around us so pungently. The mists seemed to spiral together in all directions, and a maw, so vast, so ancient it manifest, devouring us in the mist. Chapter 1. Weeks turned into a month which had been spent catching up to the fast-paced world, fast being the operative word, especially now, as Anne rolled all around me. Loud modern music was blaring, and hundreds of people were packed onto the slick wooden floor roller skating. While this was hardly fast by vampire standards, I could certainly appreciate the leisurely pace on the innovative wheeled contraptions. "Come on, Mavis, you can go faster than this," Anne teased me, and I smiled a sinister smirk at her. She was the first person I met as I literally broke my way free of my coffin, a coffin I'd been confined in for 200 years. As in early 20s, Anne seemed compelled to take responsibility for my modernization. That, and she was more than willing to take responsibility for my libido. I'm still adjusting to having miniature carriages attached to me feet. My argument didn't sound very dated in my mind. However, the look on Anne's face spoke to the truth of my lingering linguistic dilemma. As Alexia had stated, I sounded more in line with an old-timer, yet I looked as youthful as a modern high school graduate. My weird